Don't tell Gene. Okay, it's 8 o'clock. Okay, all right, welcome to the Village of Ruidoso. Oh, there you go. Welcome to the Village of Ruidoso workshop meeting. If you'll join me for a moment of silence, and then we'll do the pledge. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the Zia symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
All righty, Daddy. Thank you, everybody. Roll call, please, ma'am.
Mayor Crawford,
Here.
Counselor Eby,
Here.
Counselor Letterman,
Here.
Counselor Salas,
Here.
Counselor Hooker,
Here.
Counselor Jackson.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Morning, Gary.
Good morning.
You got your eye on your car?
I'm sorry?
Do you have your eye on your car?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. He's in Albuquerque. All right, we'll go through our agenda items. First, if you'll go to the sheet where we have about 15 of them listed. Item number 1, discussion on award of 2024-005B rental and laundry services for uniform, floor mats, and janitorial items to Mission Linen.
Good morning, Mayor, councilors.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Carol.
Is that thing on?
Is your microphone on?
Okay, cool.
We put out an invitation to bid for rental and laundry services for uniforms, floor mats, and janitorial items. We were currently using 3 different companies, and to get a better price, which we did, I put out a bid. Jerry Parsons worked with me, but I worked with each department also to see what they were currently using, and then I looked at the current bills to see what we were currently purchasing. So I compared prices one way, the other way to see what the best deal would be. And now I'm recommending that we issue the award to Mission Linen Supply. We stand to save $10,000 on uniforms, but we'll pay a little extra in janitorial, about $1,200. Net savings will be $9,104. Excuse me. So do I have any questions, or?
It's pretty sharp.
No, and she's done real good in this. We'll get it down. Now, the question I have is is American gonna keep the stuff until March?
Yes, they, the owners and the sales rep came and had an in-person meeting with me. A little bit of hurt feelings there, but I think we were able to work it out. I had sent out a letter originally letting the vendors know that, if they didn't get the award, by the end of December, they would need to pick up their uniforms. Well, it didn't go as fast as I had hoped. So that's what he was going off of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we had much further discussion since then. I had put in the bid that, we needed at least 60 to 90 days. Anyhow, they had agreed to continue outfitting our staff until we no longer need them.
Okay.
But Mission Linen has jumped ahead and has already started measuring, getting sizes, talking to department heads, so.
Okay.
Nice.
All right,
We're
very good.
going to set up a meeting with him and some of the owners one-on-one to discuss what we want and what we're expecting.
Where is Mission based at? Or
They're out of El Paso.
out of El Paso.
Yeah,
Okay,
and American was out of Roswell.
out of Roswell, and that's what surprised. I didn't know for sure. I thought they were out of Roswell and American and Las Cruces.
I believe American has something in Las Cruces because he did invite me to their factory or shop or whatever.
Because that's what when I was working here, that's where we were getting them from.
Yeah.
And I just thought because of the prices that they were closer. Mission would be closer.
Well, Mission came in at a pretty good price. I was pleased with that. So.
All right.
Questions?
Any other questions?
Consent.
Okay. Item number 2 is discussion on contract for goods and services with the rental and laundry services. This is the contract, so we'll need it on
Regular?
Regular.
We can.
Yes, sir.
Item 3, discussion on EMS fund
Thank you, Carol.
Carol.
Thanks, Carol. It's only been years and years that we've been working on.
And Mayor
Those
and Council, we're going to meet with them, as Carol stated, I think on Friday, and let them know that, with delivery services or whatnot, I mean, if we're not satisfied, we'll go another route. But it's with everyone's had issues with all the companies, so.
Yep, and from time to time you do, but Adam said, that wasn't it you, Adam, said they were doing good for you?
Matthew, I think it was Matthew, yeah, the Parks and Rec.
Okay.
Okay.
Item number 3, discussion on EMS fund application for the Ruidoso Fire Department, the amount of $24,350.
This is just our annual application for our EMS funding that pays for all our medications and training from the state EMS.
Okay. All right.
What region are we in? I noticed there's 3 regions.
We're in Region 1.
Region 1.
Yes, sir.
And do you kind of off the top of your head, what other communities are we competing with on funding or?
Every EMS in the state, but usually, last year we got $18,000.
Right,
So, I mean, any EMS agency can put in for this funding as well.
oh, okay.
This is just,
So-
it's an application, it's not really a grant, it's just an
Yeah,
application fund.
I understand that, but when I saw 3 regions,
Yes, sir.
Region 1, 2, and 3, that just made me think, I mean, how is it split up? But if this is all of them, why do they even have regions, I guess? That's what
I'm
my
not-
thought
I know
was.
they have regions, based on, for meetings and
Right. Okay,
And I know that's a big push again, is more EMS funding, legislative
Yes.
session this year.
yes, sir.
It's going to be a short session, but that's one of the issues they're trying to work in.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other questions? Consent?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Discussion on ratification of state grants in aid agreement to public libraries fiscal year 2024 between Mexico State Library and the Village of Ruidoso Public Library in the amount of $10,352.38. Did they get your heater and everything lined out?
Mayor, Counselor, yes, they did.
Okay, good.
Should be good to go now.
Okay,
was
great.
it a quick response? That's my question.
Yes, it
Oh,
was.
Okay.
Well, you know, we got Andrew and, who's the other one?
I believe Levi and then John, I believe, are they all being trained, I believe, on the
They are.
software?
How to adjust it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Do we have trouble?
Just when the big temperature changes.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? They said. that
Well,
wasn't
it was
heating up.
over the Thanksgiving holiday, and what happens is then when they're regulating temperature, it keeps it at about 55 degrees when it's not occupied.
Oh, okay.
And
Wow.
when it was time for it to go higher, it
That's
just
when-
cut off. And there was no communication with the controls. But as soon as I notified Levi, he was on it and they got it back up and running.
Good.
Good. And they've got the new catwalk and everything installed. That looks really good. John and Levi were on that.
Yes, they were, and it looks really nice. That way they can change the filters and it won't mess with any of the ductwork.
Yep. So it's
Good.
Class A number 1. All right, go ahead.
This is the state grants and aid agreement that we have annually. It's based on population, and depending on what they're paying per person is the amount that we get, so it does fluctuate depending on population. And you have to fill out the annual report to ensure that you get these funds. So,
Okay.
any questions?
Is that just population for Ruidoso, or is it a population since we kind of, we have a lot of Lincoln County residents that,
We do, but it's only based on the population of the village of
okay.
Ruidoso, because they do have public libraries in Carrizoso and
Right.
Corona
got
and
it,
Capitan, and they get money based on their population.
Okay.
Okay, any other question? Consent?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Discussion on task order RFP 2022-002P-07. Amendment 1, on-call watershed engineering support and design. Proposal reviews with Riverbend Engineering for the extension of time for the December 23rd, October 11th, 2024. Yes, ladies?
Good morning, Mayor and Council.
Good morning.
This is just going to be an extension of time to, for his on-call for Riverbend's on-call support and design reviews. Everything will be done through a task order. What we already have budgeted, that's not going to change, so there won't be any financial impact.
And it's all done by task order?
I think what happened is we're trying to get the task order deadlines to line up with the contract for anything that's on-call services. So hopefully we don't have to, come mid-year. Hopefully we'll do it once a year that it goes through the contract year. But that's what we're working on doing.
Questions? What do you want?
Consent.
Item number 6, discussion on task order RFP. Amendment 1, Rio Ruidoso Water Plant, Malone Road to Martin Road with Riverbend Engineering for an extension of time. So these are just discussions.
There'll be, this is how it's worded for the workshop, yes.
Okay.
So this one is just for the Riverbend oversight for Water Treatment Plant 1 and the Malone to Martin Road construction project. We are currently out for bid right now, but that task order is getting ready to expire. And so we're just requesting an extension of time so that way he can complete the oversight of this project.
That was my question. They're just overseeing it. It's already designed and all that, so
Correct.
they'll get on it and, okay.
Okay. Okay.
Consent.
Item number 7, I just think it was discussion and possible action was the language that we had on all these.
That'll be next week.
It will be for
Next
the meeting, yes.
Got you. Some days I just wake up,
Well,
brand new world.
because we don't
You're-
want to have
you're
any
already
action
one.
items on the workshop, so it's
Brand
discussion.
new world, Lynn. Hello, world. Item number 7, discussion on task order RFP 2022-006P MCA-1. Amendment to Eagle Creek Well Field Phase 3 with Mosen Corbin and Associates, Inc. for the extension of time from December 2023 to June 2024.
This task order is just an extension of time for Molson to continue doing their oversight over the Eagle Creek Wellfield Phase 3. We are waiting on Otero Electric to get their materials to put in. So Roper can't actually finish the construction, and so Molson can't finish doing their oversight for this project. So we're just requesting an extension of time to allow a potential amount of months, just in case the back order goes a little bit longer than expected.
Mayor Crawford, members of the council, I think I need to have legal here send them a letter. They're just not responding, not moving, very slow on moving on this with Otero Electric. So just to say, hey, we need to get this done, they're holding us up, so.
Well, we finally received an email from them saying that they're waiting on parts, and that's the reason. But I'm not sure what exactly, but it took about a month to get a response. We've been bothering them.
It's terrible.
Wow.
And remind me, is this underground power or?
It's overhead and
overhead?
underground, so they have the materials for the overhead. They said the parts that are back ordered are the underground materials. So I requested a date of when they're kind of thinking the back order materials might come in, and I haven't gotten any response.
Yeah, let's send them a letter. We'll work on it. Yeah. Okay. So you want consent on that one? Okay. Item number 8, discussion on change order number 6 with Roper to increase the contract time from December 31st, 2023 to March 30th, 2024 for completion of Alto 3 and Alto 4 well improvements project. Same song, different verse?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. Consent? Yes. Item number 9, discussion on adoption of resolution
Thanks, Ashley.
2023-39, a resolution authorizing the execution and delivery of a water project fund loan grant agreement by and between the New Mexico Finance Authority, NMFA, and the Village of Ruidoso borrower in the amount of $918,415. Yes, Ms. Judy?
Good morning, Mayor, councilors. This is a continuation of kind of our strategy to use and leverage our SGRT funds. As you know, we do originally budget the total project in SGRT, and then we leverage those funds with Water Trust Board to try to get a loan grant combination of funding. Again, we were successful in getting another project. We were awarded $918,000. This time, we got a little better split between grant and loan. Usually, we had been getting 60/40s loan to grant, but now this is a 90/10.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think this is like our third or fourth type of funding package that we've used with NMFA. We just finished closing Eagle Creek Wellfield Design Phase 3, the two agenda items before this one. We just finished closing down and drawing down all the monies on the grant and the loan, so I will be paying that off. So I think that we're on time and closing out projects. I think it's putting us in a better position to go back and acquire more monies from the state.
Good job.
That's really good.
And what, Mr. Mayor, if I may?
Go ahead.
What would this go for or to?
This is the Upper Canyon Surface Diversion Project.
Okay.
And as soon as the funding is available, we'll go out to bid for that.
So it's just a project that's waiting, but this will be
Yes.
the funding for it?
And the design and everything is completed, and it's been approved by the state. So as soon as we get the funding, we can move forward.
Excellent, thank you.
And the diversion going to Grindstone, is that the one? Thank you. Okay.
And then we are meeting with, I don't see Sam, but we talked to Chris. No, it's Chris that we were talking about, Mr., so if you get phone calls, and we haven't set up a time just yet, have we? What was his name?
Mr. John Cates?
Yes, Kate's, yes. I don't know where all his emails are at, but, so we're gonna set up with him. His house is right across the way.
From the diversion?
And so he
That
just has some concerns, and
And
so,
he's also gonna be kind of in the same project areas, the Malone to the Martin Bridge, Malone to Martin Road. But on that project, you know, we do have copies of the design, and we sent it to the mayor, and Judge Potter was interested in it as well, so.
he reached out to Frank too. He knows Frank, but it's that same family that we're working on that property that maybe one day we'll have another exit from Upper Canyon on. So I don't know where all his stuff is, but anyway, we're gonna be visiting with him before we do anything. We're just gonna go over the contract and talk about the things that we will be doing
Okay.
and what we won't be doing. Okay,
I'll request for on the regular,
Okay.
since we're dealing with water and
okay.
knowing that project's moving again.
Number 9, regular. All right, thank you, ladies. Number 10 is discussion on purchase of a 520 Peterbilt refuse collection truck for the solid waste department utilizing Sourcewell Cooperative
Jerry.
Purchasing Contract for Hunter truck sales in the amount of $374,213.71. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, Mayor, councilors.
Been busy?
As you all know, we're having a hard time getting parts for our older stuff. They don't even make the Model 320 anymore. And we're going to 520s. I mean, it's the same cab over truck, but this is what Peterbilt's going to now. So we're going through Sourcewell and trying to get this one already made. The chassis is already there. The company that builds the body buys some trucks, so we don't have to wait on the truck.
Good, that's a good one. Is this one replacing the wrecked one?
No, sir, that's,
No,
it's
where are
coming
we
up.
on that one?
It's next.
that's the next
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yeah, that's the next one.
How many trucks are down right now?
3,
Oh, my
and
God.
then one's wrecked.
Okay.
And we've been talking to Ernie and those guys over at that, what's the name of their company?
Universal Waste, yes, Mayor, Council.
Being able to contract out like some of their grapple trucks and some of that stuff to help get caught up. We're still working on that language. Okay, anybody what do you want this on?
I would say consent.
Okay, consent, is we good?
Yeah.
Okay. Next item up for discussion and discussion only is discussion on purchase of a 2024 battle cab and chassis for Universal Waste Systems utilizing Cooperative Educational Services purchasing contract in the amount of $240,000 to repair solid waste collection vehicle. Yes, sir.
Mayor and councilors, this was a quote that Universal Waste sent to us. The battle, I never had heard of it until I looked at it, and it's nothing more than a crane carrier truck, which we used to have at Waste Management way back in the 80s. They were a good truck. The only thing we've asked is that they raise them up and for what we have to do around here.
The suspension raise it up off the ground so you can get up the ditches, up the streets.
The ones that they have are more for like swampers and stuff, getting out for cans and having to get on and off the truck. So they're a low entry truck.
Gotcha.
So Michael called them and told them that we'd like to have it raised up, and they said that there wouldn't be no problem.
Okay.
Which is putting blocks under the leaf springs.
Did we remember during the discussion, when did they say we would be able to get it? Because it was pretty quick, wasn't it?
They say 60 days out.
Yeah, that's what it was.
We'll see. They're gonna tow it and everything, so.
Yeah, then we've been calling to self-insurance fund. We had to kind of
We finally had,
fire.
Mayor Crawford remembers, we finally had to have the president of the New Mexico Municipal League check on it for us. We got it, they got it done. We explained the urgency of having this truck due to, we're solid waste. I mean, we didn't have the trucks. We have trucks down. So they gave us the go-ahead, and so we're moving forward. And there'll be insurance recovery funds. And then they'll go after the individual that drove into to our truck. And, they're looking at maybe possibly with her insurance, maybe $40,000 that they'll be able to get back from her. But we'll move forward.
So what was it, over 60 grand, is that right?
Over the 25,000.
25,000 self-insures, this is.
They have to go to they have to go to their other carrier on that.
We've been waiting a month or two.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
So finally, they called us back and said, we're good to go.
Yes.
All right, so where do you want this one? Consent? Okay. Mr. Decision Maker over here. Everybody else is asleep over here.
He wants his trash picked up.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, yeah.
There's a
Story about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He helped us out a couple weeks ago, so he's great.
Appreciate you for that too.
No, your guy was great. I can't remember his name. I want to mention.
Scott.
Yep, okay, I'll mention him at the meeting next time, because he just died, literally dove in that dumpster and was slinging bags out, and I was catching them and throwing them in the back of the truck. We were going to work.
He'd have been there earlier, except,
Yeah,
he went
to the
around the
gate.
wrong way. We could get in there.
Yeah.
They were full. They had a lot of short-term rentals up there. And
Oh, it was a mess. I'll show you video and pictures.
so, Bill Hawley, I don't have anything on him. Okay, anything else? All right, Jerry, thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Jerry.
Jerry.
Thank y'all.
Item number 12, discussion on recommendation from the Airport Advisory Board to rename the Sierra Blanca Regional Airport to the Sierra Blanca Regional Jimmy Franklin Memorial Airport.
Regular.
Okay,
Yeah.
anybody have any questions?
Who is Jimmy Franklin?
Well, it's a good question. We didn't
Yes.
know either.
Yeah. But Mr. Stevens will be here to present to council on this item.
The one thing I don't see that we've asked for is the language on, because we went through this, remember, on naming village
ball
property, all the
field,
different
yeah.
things?
Jenny emailed him the application for that. Has he submitted that back to you?
No, but he does know that I need it by
Okay.
noon tomorrow.
Okay.
But we need it on here because we had rules about these things. And it was about somebody that been here a long time, done a lot of
Right.
different things, donated the land, donated the money, very specific things on what we
Right.
do.
And they, as Jenny mentioned, he's received all the information and he's gonna fill out that application to try and make sure he meets all those rules. And if he doesn't, then this item.
We'll drop it.
Yes, sir.
So, do you want to tell them who Jimmy is?
From what I remember, Jimmy Franklin is actually the father of one of the famous aviators that was out of this airport. He's from Roswell, or the son of, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's the son of another guy.
Yes,
Oh, my
and
God.
they've named, when we originally looked it up, there was a Franklin Airport in Roswell. His son was a famous aviator, did a lot of stunt tricks, did a lot of air shows. He housed here out of Ruidoso for a while. He recruited, I guess, and publicized a lot of different pieces from Ruidoso into the public, from what we were told. And he recently passed away in an air show, I believe, that
I
people were
know.
trying to recognize him.
I know exactly who it is. Yes,
Who?
Kyle
Kyle
Franklin. His mother was married to Stroud, Steve Stroud.
Oh.
She was, I know exactly who you're talking about now.
So, and then just the discussion at the airport committee was that we've even had requests to rename facilities. There was obviously the request for the staff member that passed away, and other items that have happened. And so we just wanted to make sure that we followed the rules and the processes that were in place if that happened. And so we let them know that.
Debbie Nix, brother.
Really? He's Debbie Nix's brother?
Yeah, what was her mother's name? Kyle Franklin is Debbie Nix's brother.
Wonder why she didn't call me and climb my tree over this. So anyway, they'll get us the background on that because we've gone through this issue on several in past years.
So Mayor and Manager Senna, do we need to change the language to include discussion possible action on application to rename, or leave it the way it is?
It wouldn't hurt to have that, to have the application. I mean, he'll be submitting that, yes.
Okay.
Because, there's been some discussion too about with Senator Munoz, pushing that $55 million that it's, and then there's going to be annual, I guess, as long as oil and gas sticks around, money added to the budget for airports statewide. He's the one that really pushed that. So, the argument was, couldn't you name it after, since we're the first airport to get it done? The argument could be made for him, but I don't know Jimmy Fallon, and
Jimmy Fallon.
I mean, Jimmy, whatever. Jimmy Fallon. I'm already in bed way by that time. But it's just one of those things that came out of left field, and
Yeah.
nobody
Right.
knows who the guy is or why. And so he'll be here,
Okay.
and he'll probably have it all laid out because he's an attorney. And you know how we feel about attorneys. Okay. So I guess regular item, okay. Thank you very much. Item number 13.
Thanks, Mike.
Discussion on resolution 2023-40, a resolution accepting donated items of real property for the Wingfield Heritage House Museum. Okay. Oh, these are
If you've
pretty
never
cool.
seen those magazines,
Yeah.
those are very neat.
I guess I'll be in any of them. so-
No, this is before your time.
So, good morning.
Good morning.
The donated items that we're looking at as a series of tourism magazines relating to promotion of Ruidoso. And I said 40s and 50s earlier, but it's 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. So we have two from the 40s and then one from each decade. So they're pretty cool.
Is that Susan on there?
Yeah, right there in their little socks,
You don't know how you
hockey socks.
And it has some neat ads from all the different businesses that were, sponsoring the magazine. And these were publicized by the Chamber of Commerce, probably members
Pretty
of
cool,
the
aren't
chamber.
they?
Are these Carmen's?
Monty Cole.
Monty Cole.
He's on the committee. And
No,
even,
the publisher.
oh, the
that-
publisher, I'm
Is
sorry.
it Carmen Phillips?
I think I saw his
Pictures.
name on at least one of them, so.
Yeah, go ahead and pass it on.
I'm not sure.
That's all right.
No, it's, you can see, but they are very cool.
That's neat.
All the old history stuff.
Yeah, they're very neat. A big whopping 35 cents.
Yeah.
I know they're right on there, it's all advertising. But regular, I would say,
Okay.
so that
Oh,
way,
look, Mount Baldy.
Yeah.
Mount Baldy.
Okay, and old Tony Lama, what year was that one? They used to come up
That
here all
should
the
have
time.
been,
He
I
and
would
his
be
brother.
40s.
It's 1942.
Wow, he died not too long ago, and his brother used to come up here all the time. All right, so we'll do regular.
Oh, Mayor, I got a question on this.
Shoot.
First National Bank is right.
It's just underneath the last page of the agreement or this, where it says, Ruidoso Cultural and Natural History Committee decision,
Uh-huh.
that on the bottom with the signatures, it's not that I'm not questioning Counselor Letterman's signature here, but it says, the Ruidoso Cultural and Natural History Committee decision, and it says committee member signatures. Does that mean that any committee member could sign right there? Or does it have to be a chairman or a president of the committee? Or that's just kind of stuck out?
I don't have a good answer to that. I think I made that form up for internal use and wasn't expecting it to come through here, but, Susan may not be at a meeting and we can still approve stuff, so, I think I was just looking for a committee member's signature, so.
As long as it holds legal muster, we're okay, right, Zach?
Yeah.
Okay, that,
We would actually have a deed of gift that would actually be the transferring of the property, so this is just for my documentation that it's been approved.
Well, and the reason I attached it is it identifies the objects. Because in the resolution, I didn't identify the objects, so I just referred to the attachment. So that's why I have that attached.
And with the committee, this is just a committee meeting saying, yes, let's take it to the council, because the council's the one that has the last say to it.
But that form can certainly be updated to be whatever we need it to be, so.
all right, well, it's fine with me if Zach's okay with it.
Visit with her after the meeting.
All right.
Is the committee, are minutes taken at the committee meetings?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, good.
That's why we have the committees. I think
To give
that's-
recommendations.
Yeah, to have those committees to meet and sift through all that and bring forth, and it should be a fairly supportive process.
Everything is signed by the committee prior to signature and.
But I think what Joe was saying, is it just the chair, or can any committee member sign it?
I was just looking at it, 20 years from now, someone can look back and say, oh yeah, it did go through committee, was the purpose of the form from my perspective, but we can certainly make it be whatever it needs to be.
I think as long as you have a recommendation, a vote by the board, anybody could sign it.
That's what I was thinking.
That was chairing the committee.
And it's in the
Recommend.
minutes.
Right, the action, the recommendation and action is noted in the minutes. And it specifies who it was and who recommended the donation and who it was coming from.
Yeah.
And that's on the code of ethics where you're talking about signing it, or I didn't see it on the other one.
The recommendation for acquisition, I usually fill out one for every donation that comes in. It's my way of giving the committee information about whatever's coming in, so. And on the back, it has a signature line, so.
I just hadn't found it.
It's right here, it's just the
different
one
tab.
up from the.
I got the
sign-
code of ethics, I got a signature page.
Oh, well, this is just.
Here's the
The item
recommendation,
before that.
acquisition.
I'm on a long deal. I am having a wicked morning. What's the next one?
It's on 13, you're on
14.
Yes, sir.
Yep, there you go. Oh, there you go, I got it. Okay, so what do y'all want to do? leave it as is, or is it something?
I'm okay with
I just think it says committee member signature,
it. Yeah.
and I think we're good.
I'm fine, as long as that's fine.
Okay. All right, so you want this,
I would say consent.
okay. All right, number 14 is just the resolution approving and adopting the Wingfield Heritage House Museum Collection Management Policies and Code of Ethics.
So we have two different policies here. These are considered kind of standard policies for every museum to have. The collections management policy goes through, how we take things in the collection, who approves taking those things into the collection, what we're committing to keeping forever and ever, and how, if we need to, how we take something out of the collection. We don't just sort of willy-nilly throw something away, that we make sure we're, following procedures and that sort of thing. It lays out procedures for loans, and then for, what we are collecting and what not collecting.
Did you ever get a chance to go over to ENMU and look at that?
No, I haven't been over there. I need
You
to.
go look at that, because they just had a special on TV, and it'll be going to Netflix, where, they talk about how supposedly we started in the Fertile Crest, and everybody went through the land bridge and came down from the north, came all the way down to south. Now they're saying it's coming the other way, and it's because of White Sands, New Mexico, where they found all those footprints, that they found just thousands of footprints, mammoth, all that stuff, and they got a whole special where they're digging over there in a secured area, but it's really interesting.
And they're a lot
So the
earlier.
paradigm of history is being changed right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you have the museum right here.
Yeah.
And so,
Mayor and council, the wording on that says, discussion on adoption of the resolution, adopting the policy and code of ethics. After discussion yesterday with Zach, the manager said, we don't need a resolution to adopt a policy and code of ethics, so it'll just be discussion, possible action for the policy and code of ethics, no resolution needed.
okay.
Did you guys have any questions on these policies or anything?
Really appreciate your hard work.
Anybody else? Okay,
Okay. Easy
so we're
peasy.
gonna have that one on consent too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, consent.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much.
Item number
Thanks,
15,
Stephanie.
discussion and possible action on adoption of resolution 2023-42, a resolution finding the property located at 100 Nogal Place, Block 3, Lot 1 of the Country Club Estate Subdivision, New Mexico. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Similar to our past resolutions that we brought forward for finding properties to be nuisances, this is in regards to 100 Nogal Place. You will have a summary, and it lists everything that's been going on with this property back to, I believe, 2014 was the initial building permit that was pulled. Since then, we've had multiple building permits, agreements, things of that nature, but ultimately the project is stagnated to the point where even with agreements and court proceedings, we have been unable to get this person to complete the project. I do have some photographs that I took this morning, if y'all wish to see those.
Yep.
If she'll cue those up.
Because I thought he had, I don't mean to interrupt, but I thought he had, there's been work done. I mean, it has moved, but maybe just not enough.
Correct. So we've gained minimal amounts of compliance here and there over the last 4 to 5 years, but ultimately he has not made substantial progress since the main portion of this structure was, we'll call it an addition, was erected.
Just for more recent information, Mr. Hodges did come in last week. I met with him. He has basically discussed the entire history of what's going on. He mentioned that he just roughly spent about $12,000 additional dollars on new windows that are gonna go in. And that he's also requesting an additional permit for work that's being done inside so that there can be an inspection. He's also mentioned, and I know he's already told Bobby this multiple times, that he will be starting the stucco process in the spring once the weather is done. I know this has been mentioned multiple times before, but he, just to let you all know, he did in fact come in to have that conversation with us on Wednesday.
No, the wrap has been like that for a year, if I'm not mistaken.
Or more.
Or more, right? Because that was the calls or the comments I got that, you know, hey, it's been this for a long time and.
Correct. The wrap on the exterior of the structure tends to blow off and blow through the neighborhood, which is causing more issues. We did have two separate agreements that I found some documentation on, one in 2018 and one in 2019.
Wow, that long?
In both of those agreements, the exterior of the residence was to be finished. So since at least 2019, we've been trying to get him to come into compliance for at minimum, the exterior of the structure. I've made several comments to him that we can work with him to get the rest of the structure as far as interior and permitting and things of that nature. We can work with timelines, but the exterior of the structure is what the main complaint that code enforcement is receiving, being an unfinished structure. Beyond just the unfinished structure, we do have the open and abandoned portion of our ordinance. Ultimately, the main, which would be to the left if you're looking at the front of the house, the main largest portion of the addition is open to the public, to animals, to people, to whatever.
Oh, wow.
And just recently, within the last, I would say, 6 to 8 months, some people have moved into the structure. So there are people actually living in this house with the addition incomplete. Not to say that that's a better or worse circumstance, but prior to them being there, there was no one on the property and it was just open and no one was there. So we've got a lot of issues going on with this property, but ultimately it's primarily the nuisance of being an unfinished structure in this neighborhood for the extent of time that it has been.
Remember, Cornelius built a house and behind it. And went through that hole from ground up and sold it and everything, and here we're still dealing with this one.
So then, along with the blight, then this is being occupied without a certificate of occupancy.
So that gets to be a little bit of an area where we have to bring in expertise from our building officials. The initial structure is when you get a certificate of occupancy. They don't have to come back and reapply for a certificate of occupancy for an addition. So technically, they do still have occupancy on the structure itself, the initial structure, which is where the people are residing. They aren't residing, to the best of my knowledge, in the addition that's incomplete. They're residing in the initial structure.
No, Mr. Hodges has mentioned that the individual that's staying there currently, is actually his contractor, and he's working on items that don't require a permit. And he has also been the one that has pulled the permit to update any items internally that may need an inspection. And so that's who's actually staying at the facility.
Did Mr. Hodges indicate to you that he would be present at the meeting here next Tuesday?
He did not indicate whether he would or wouldn't be here.
Well, then, could I ask, since it's possible that we might not hear from Mr. Hodges, could I get a gauge from you to what you feel his sincerity is?
Well, being that he was doing all this back in 2019, and because I remember I went with John over to the house years ago to try to get him up because the neighbors were just fed up.
So what, and Mr. Simpson's heard the same piece that he told me during COVID. This gentleman had a business in Midland, Texas. COVID hit him hard in 2019 is what he said. He was trying to either make payments on his equipment or make payments on this house. And so he went with his livelihood and said, I'm not going to deal with the house, and left it as is. And he's admitted to that 110%. He mentioned, and I know he's said this before, that his last payment on his equipment was coming up. He said his last one is roughly, I think, this next month, which is what's allowed him to, and I asked him if he could provide receipts in the future of what he's done. He said, I can show you the receipts for the 12,000 in windows, and then the down payment I've made for the stucco. And so I said, if you can show us that or take it to council or submit it, that's something I think that's important. But as things have happened previously, there's been agreements that have been signed, there's been commitments, there's been, I mean, the amount of infrastructure that's gone into this house has also been a pretty penny as well. It's not just, it's something that hasn't been invested in. I think he's working on it. I don't know if it will be completed by the time that, council will have established, or whether it'll be completed during that time. So it's been an issue, and I think we should address it as an issue, from the staff perspective, and move forward with it.
Well, can we just get a sidebar on the house on Paradise? We had a time limit on that. Where are we at on that one?
Correct. So the person representing the properties made substantial progress in several of the categories. The vehicles that were on the property were removed, other than one that has now been stored appropriately. We do have an issue with a portion of the fence, but the fence is legal to store the inoperable vehicle. A substantial amount of items were removed from the property, which would be considered junk or salvage materials. The only portion that is failing to be compliant or beginning to be compliant is the forestry standards, specifically associated to weeds, grass, brush, basically general cleanup. We actually do have a contractor that has been selected to go in and perform those tasks, and that cost will result in a lien. But there's been an issue that's come up recently with their health, and so there's a short delay, but that should be beginning shortly.
With the contractor?
Correct. They were selected, and then they ended up becoming ill, but it should be a short period of time before they
So
can
the
get
point
started.
I'm trying to make, even if we say no and we start going, we're still months down the road for any actions actually done until you find a contractor, you get it all done. So, I think that's something that needs to be taken into account too.
From a timeline perspective, Mayor, you're exactly right. We probably won't be able to get a contractor to work on this property until the spring as well, so.
But I still would say regular, see if give him the opportunity to come in here and talk on Tuesday, bring any receipts, good faith, whatever.
I'll make contact with the property owner and advise him that this will be coming before council, and recommend strongly that he be present.
Okay? All right, so we'll have it on regular. Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Bobby.
Okay, we'll go back to the agenda layout. Body minutes, certificate destruction, input, new employees and promotions, retirement plaque to Jerry Corliss for his service to the village of Ruidoso as fire lieutenant, January 2001 through 2023.
He's going to retire.
Yep. Well, there he had his party and everything. Don't see the chief. And then operation of insurance companies following fires and other disasters. So I've forgotten her name. She's with Farmers. She's with Farmers. She's going to come in and kind of give us a report, because we were getting calls there for a while. I haven't gotten one in a while on people not being able to get insurance. Then introduction of Stephanie Leland. She'll be coming in from RMA. And to just do an introduction and talk to us.
And Mayor Crawford, she has to leave here at 1:45 that day to make another meeting, so I told her.
What other meeting is that?
Mayor, they have, Mayor and Council, they have.
That's what I'm getting tired of. They worked for the village, and she couldn't make their last meeting either. So, who did she work for?
The New Mexico Main Street's coming down for inspection, and that's what they informed us, so.
The accreditation.
Yeah.
For Main Street.
Oh, my God. It's just like the other one.
Yeah.
So let's just move her to January.
Yeah, or just forget it.
Okay.
Yep.
You can do that.
I mean, I'm just tired of that crap. I'll cancel her Christmas card. I got it on my desk. I mean, I don't understand it when we've asked twice and there's something more important both times, so to forget it. Boards and commissions, village managers report. Are there any highlights that anybody wants? And then we're gonna get an update on the filming. Did everybody see the fake mayor in the video, in the parade?
Zach yelled at him, so.
Did you?
Is that what it was?
Yeah, the guy in the white Suburban sticking out of the window.
I'm sitting there, what is
I know, I was wondering.
He must be important.
And he was waving. Go ahead. Yeah. So he'll give us an update on all of that stuff.
Mayor,
Wow.
I thought I'd get the meeting, but I didn't.
that's a good one.
Good morning, Mayor and councilors.
Morning.
So we had a film mayor come through, and that was for the Santa Assist movie. And he did a really good job. It looked great. So if some of the people saw us running down Suttereth with camera crew, that was what it was. He was he was right behind the Maserati car.
Yeah.
And he was sticking his body out of the top, going, "Hey, everybody, hi, Ruidoso." So they got some really good footage of that, and so it came out really well.
Yeah.
That's
But
good.
it went pretty good. And then we'll talk more about the, if you can, the potential what we're gonna need to do for the March, April. And then we'll need to, once we got that, can you talk about it yet? Do we have anything?
Yes, this is for the Apple film.
Huh?
The movie's called Lost Bus, and it is a Paul Greengrass film. They have disattached Blumhouse Productions, which is a big production company, and Comet Films, which is Jamie Lee Curtis. So she'll be a producer on the film as well. Today I actually have David Crank, who is a very famous set designer. He's in town today with a couple location managers looking at some different areas. So they're going to come by probably around 3 o'clock just to say hi and stick their head in the door, just give an update on where they're at with everything. The actor strike just finished recently last month, so they're in the process of casting right now. And they said they're going to probably have a location manager here full-time starting probably in January. So you're going to start seeing things ramp up here pretty quick. So they're going to be building some sets at some different locations, and the movie's got a big budget, and it will be
It's a big budget.
$200 million.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. So it's a pretty big deal. It'll be one of the biggest movies filmed for next year. So we have it here. It's going to be between us, and then they're building some stage sets in Santa Fe. So the movie's based around the Paradise Fires. And so what they're doing is they're creating inside the sound stages a bus, with some fake trees and some different things to create that atmosphere so that way they're not in the forest setting fires. So that's
And then we're really gonna work with the fire department and our PIO and to get the narrative out there, defensible space, blah, blah, blah. So, just to notice. Pretty, well, it's pretty cool.
And so we will have enough rooms available for.
Yeah, we got an update yesterday because we're looking at some new software to maybe compete with that Granicus and something Gov that we use on short-term rentals, and they said we're up to nearly 1,500. Yeah, that we didn't know, and these are ones that have been discovered that aren't paying.
It's over 100 paying.
I don't know, 50, 40 or 50.
Okay.
But anyway, you don't have to worry about that because the county, in its wisdom, just said for the what's his name, Walter Hill, to go ahead and purchase software so he can monitor the entire.
Countywide.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, so they can get more tax money, so. So one of these days, people are gonna start calling their county commissioners and asking them questions instead of calling me, asking me why we're doing this. It's not us, it's the county.
Yep.
You call them, talk to them.
I was called in reference to that, now that you bring it up, about putting a cap on them in the village. And I know we've thrown that around before, I'll say I said it. It is a concern.
Yep.
Infrastructure, right. Yeah, well, the village the Meadows there's more Airbnbs in there than there is people.
Well, and they're,
Yeah.
and they're even addressing it out at Alto too right now, so. Yep. So anyway, and then,
Mayor, Council Chief's going to have also one of his officers, an award. You want to talk about that real quick, Chief? Put
well, I
that
went
up.
through with, you're gonna do, while he's sitting here, you'll do Xterra?
Okay.
Okay, we had a meeting with those guys. You'll give us a firm deal on that.
What's Xterra?
It's like the Ironman competition, but
Oh,
it's
yes.
more on rough road, not paved surfaces. So we met with Poobah over Canada, America, and South America.
Go ahead and talk about it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Xterra is the largest extreme triathlon in the world. Mountain biking, trail running, and swimming. So it's the gentleman that came in, Steve Andrus, he oversees Canada, the United States, and all South America for Xterra. This event will bring in, over the course of many years, people from around 40 different countries. It's worldwide known, and we actually had an amazing meeting with him, and everybody in the village had done such an...
He met with Lodgers Tax.
He met with Lodgers Tax, he met with every different department. He actually, everyone did such a great job telling him about the different things they're involved with, and he loves Ruidoso now. He actually...
He put his name and Xterra all over the digital sign, took him down to Grindstone where they're talking about doing the wet work, and he had the high school band out there playing...
We Will Rock You.
Yeah, we had a big banner.
Oh, my God.
So the guy just laid down. It was,
He was blown away with it, yeah. So
Is
we,
that where you would swim as Grindstone?
yeah, so they do a full loop in Grindstone and then go up through the trails. And so after everything was done, he had a meeting with Mike and myself on Wednesday morning, and he told us that we will be getting the MOU, which is a memorandum of understanding, is similar to a letter of intent. So that's coming this week, and then we should get our contract from him middle of December.
He's going to work with some local bicycle shops, you know,
Yep.
and
Yep.
other people support, talk to locals
Yep.
about working the event, things like that.
How long does that usually, like a contract, is it for 5 years, 10 years?
5 years.
5 years, okay.
And so
then,
it eventually will culminate with, you know, nationwide television.
What,
ABC Sports.
what time of year does that take place?
Second week of August.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they'll be able to swim.
Yeah, we went to the water plant and had a meeting with Randy, and he was very informative and gave us all the water temperatures. And so we actually had a great timing because Beaver Creek has been hosting this event in Colorado for 17 years. And unfortunately for them, they lost that. And so they kind of dropped the ball with it. And so that oversaw all of the southwestern region. So polls from California, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, Texas, and New Mexico. So it is a pretty big opportunity. And that was exactly right in that spot in August. So we're just going to plug right in there. And 2025, August would be the first Xterra event. And, you know, and it will continue to grow and get bigger and bigger as the years progress.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
cool.
neat.
And it's good job. And then they had a big blizzard in Beaver Creek this week.
I didn't know that.
You know, they had to cancel all the slalom and downhills and all that other stuff. So, well, good job. That's
you.
exciting stuff. So thank you. But that was
Thank you.
the little whipped cream and cherry on top of that deal was pretty cool. The guy was blown away. He came in and we had a meeting, but he met with Lodgers Tax. They were very supportive, excited about it.
I can't believe they had the band.
Oh yeah, he had the high school band.
Oh,
out there. Yeah. I don't know how he even swung that deal.
Oh, my God, that's great. I
Good
love
job.
it.
That was great. And then, Chief, what was that about?
Come on up.
VFW is going to be presenting Daniel Hillman with another award for his
Oh, yeah.
McBride Fire. They're wanting to do it at the end of, or before the end of the year. So they approached us about a month ago, and I asked if they could do it at a council meeting. That way we can get the recognition for everybody.
Okay, do you want to do it under the manager's report?
Mayoral
Mayoral?
report. Yep.
Okay. Okay. That'd be good.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then, Mayor, there will be one more, under the consent regular items, there'll be a request to schedule a public hearing for some proposed changes to section 3881 having to do with the clean and lean. I believe Counselor Eby had suggested that, and yesterday Zach came up with some language, something to the effect of if the owner, occupant, or agent in charge of the building, structure, premises, debris, blah, 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 doesn't remove within 30 days or within such time as provided by the governing body after the commencement of the removal, the village may remove or contract for the removal.
Okay.
So it'll be a request to schedule a public hearing, and then the public hearing would be in January.
Good enough? And then you'll talk about our quality of life grant that we snagged. That's pretty cool.
That'll be Matthew when he's, yes.
Huh?
Matthew will
here
be,
to
yes.
do it.
He's at a training
Good-
today.
Good snag, good snag.
And then I believe Bernadine is still working on getting information together for her agenda item
Okay, which was the contract on the software.
for Momentous.
And then we're also waiting on Momentous for their legal, to look at the changes I think that Carol sent over to them. So that's really all we're waiting on.
Okay.
We'll have it as a regular item.
Huh?
Software for what?
The bookings and setting up rooms, and it does a whole lot of different things. And then there's a lot of things that we can learn on it, is what I was told.
Yes, and we're all working on it.
Yeah, you know, how to book and keep it all straight. We've had it for 2 years,
Yes, too.
so it's a renewal.
And this time we're working on a 4-year contract because then we'll get a decrease in, what we pay now. So
Okay.
if we do the 4-year contract, we get a pretty good discount.
Okay. All right, anything else? Nope, nope. Anybody else have anything?
Can't think of anything.
And they're taking that truck driving school pretty serious. They're over there every
Well,
morning.
yeah, that's a
early.
big deal.
They're over there every morning.
Where are they doing
At
it?
the White Mountain parking lot.
That, okay. I
You see
was
the
wondering-
semi parked in
Yes,
there
I
and-
was, okay, yes.
They roll in there every morning. What about, so they've got the orange, temporary fencing there right across from the Taylor's house? You know, it's kind of fallen down. I didn't know if that was somebody's.
That'd be the school department.
It's the Safe Routes to Schools project. They did a suspension on it till the spring.
Yeah, because the water's.
Well, he's saying they need to put the
Well,
fence.
yeah, that fence, it looks like poo.
Mayor, I wonder if we could have just a little blurb on the internet that's coming through, because you see the trucks out there working. I've been asked questions about that, and people are getting real excited.
Well, we had a presentation, what was it, last month?
Yeah.
Do you want,
About Cascade and, you know, where they're at and what they're doing. We can certainly do it, because I know my TDS was pretty.
you want
lame.
Johnny Montoya, try to see if he'll
If he
join
could
us
be
again?
on Zoom at
Okay.
least. Give an
Did y'all
update.
get
where
a
they're-
door hanger?
Nope.
Or you didn't?
Nuh-uh.
Y'all didn't get it?
Not yet.
I must
You
have
get
been
one?
complaining enough, because they put one on mine and I'm pre-registered. and-
Oh, I haven't got Boo on it, but they've been around. I've seen them.
Yeah, they are, and people are asking questions about it, and wondering when they're gonna get.
Well, we had him, we talked about it on the radio, and then we had him in here, and he really didn't give us a whole lot of information. It's just that it's gonna be 2026 or some number.
Well, he thought December of 2024, but they were going to start trying to get neighborhoods already connected, so let's see.
Yeah.
And if they went to Rifles already, they
Yeah,
may,
I came
Oh,
one
yeah.
afternoon and had
Yeah.
it there, but I've been complaining to them since
Hey, what's your number?
1972 or something.
TDS or two?
Kinetic Windstream, yeah,
Oh, okay.
doing the fiber project.
I don't have them.
'Cause they've been up in the meadows too, up there doing all that area.
Another water leak on Paradise.
Which is okay.
Anything else anybody can talk about? And we'll have some more little goodies hopefully we can discuss. Anything else?
After you adjourn, Mayor, then we'll talk about the
The
workshop.
meeting, you know, we need to talk about the workshop meeting.
Yes.
Okay, well, that concludes the meeting for today. And we'll end that meeting now, then we'll talk about, we've had trouble getting the time set up for, you gonna have Dr. Jackson on? Can you still hear us, Gary?
Yeah.
Okay, that we need to have a workshop on the Section 54 rewrite stuff. That's going to take, they think, most all of the day, and so we need to come up with a day.
So we, at last month, or at the last meeting, we had discussed, we were going to maybe have it today and tomorrow, and that didn't work out. So, because Site Southwest wasn't available. But, Michael, did you have any updated information about Site Southwest?
I think Sam is on actually.
Samantha?
So did you have any updated information on Phyllis and her ability to come in?
Surgery or something.
They're just waiting for a couple options from you all, and they should be able to coordinate coming down here for that.
What are the options?
Oh, they were gonna let you all, there's more of you all to coordinate, so they just said to let them know, and then they would try to make it work. I think Phyllis had a surgery scheduled for today.
Sam, I thought she had requested that there was some time based on the surgery that she couldn't come in. Like, we can't do it next week, right? Like, she needed some recovery time. Did you know what that was before we send our options? For some reason, I thought she had given us like, we can do it after this date.
Then the next week is Christmas week.
Yeah. That's what
I can hear Michael, but I can understand what he said.
You have to, he's coming down.
Sorry. I thought that Phyllis had given us like a time frame for like her recovery after. I thought she said she needed like a week or two, so we couldn't do it till after that. Was that correct? So that we could get options after those dates?
She needed through the end of this week, for sure.
Oh, just till the end of this week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then we'll come up with some dates and shoot them back off then.
Because then, like I said, it'll be Christmas week after that.
Either do it next week but we've got the council meeting.
For me, that's where it's council, but I got 13 and 14 available.
13 is, I don't,
Regional,
December.
we have the wastewater treatment plant.
Would you all just like to move it to
on the
January?
10th.
Yeah.
And then strategic planning, we could do the 14th, which is one of the dates that I had already on here.
I could do the 14th too.
Mayor, when are you headed to Santa Fe? You're gonna be headed out
I'm leaving, man, when is that?
next week?
So it's 15th?
Yeah, you're gonna be out.
Oh, that's what the strategic planning is.
Yeah.
I got
Ours
so
is
many
in January.
strategic managing, I don't know what to do.
And I believe it's.
We also have strategic planning the 14th with the Workforce Advisory Board all day.
January might be the best time to get some dates.
Okay, what we'll do is we'll shop some dates in January for you all then, and then send it off and see if those work.
Okay.
Is that gonna work, Sam?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you all.
January 21st through the 28th, I'm out. Nope, I'm sorry. January 29th through February 4th, I'm out. So that's the only thing I got.
Anyone else have any dates in January that they?
Yeah, the 29th and 30th, I'll be out.
Okay, we're gonna also be looking at our strategic planning dates too, and the,
22nd through the 26th.
well, it's usually the last week, and then the mayor has his State of the Village.
When is it, on January the 24th or whatever?
Well, that's,
Nobody can make it.
So far, you have
Schedules.
2 people out on that date. So.
On what day?
The 29th and 30th.
Of January.
Of January, yeah.
When is the New Mexico municipal league?
February, isn't it?
February.
Oh, yeah.
what day is it? The
February.
I know the Lincoln County Days is February.
It's on the same date, it's on the same,
It's the 7th, Wednesday the 7th, and the 8th is the municipal meeting.
Oh, okay, good. 7th and 8th, okay.
So that middle part of January, does that work for everyone?
Better.
You know, on the, you talking about the week of the 15th?
Yes, sir, right around there.
We just have the Airport Advisory Board that we may have to redo, that lasts for an hour to two. JUB meeting is on Wednesday. Capital projects and stuff, 8 o'clock on Thursday, team tourism on Thursday. So you're gonna have to move something if you're gonna do an all-day deal.
okay.
But team tourism, they'll meet in the back, so So.
Right.
In capital projects, we start at 8.
No, we should be done by 9.
And so we can go 9 to, after that.
9 to 5 and with a working lunch?
Yeah, that would be good.
That sound good? Thursday?
So that's the 18th? The
Uh-huh.
18th?
Thursday, the 18th.
And Mayor, Jane Lucero called me yesterday. She said the AJ should be getting with you or Allison on 18th or 19th of having the ribbon cutting at the airport. I don't know if they reach out to you at all, or?
Not yet.
I didn't see anything.
So Sam, January 18th, 9 to 5.
Okay, that sounds great. It should be far enough out that they should be able to make that work. So thank you.
Thank you, Sam.
He didn't say anything. There it is, John Cates. John Headley Cates. Finally found his emails. Okay. That it? Okay. Thank y'all. And then, Wednesday, tomorrow, the village